The last surviving male northern white rhino has died after months of poor health. Sudan was his name. He was 45 years old and he lived at a conservancy in Kenya. He was put to sleep on Monday after age-related complications worsened significantly. That leaves only 2 females left of this rhino population, his daughter and his granddaughter. These are the only 2 of the subspecies left alive in the world that we know of right now. It's pretty sad. Something you should know about rhinoceroses. One, that's a tongue twister to say. There are 5 species of rhinoceroses. They're the second largest land mammal after elephants. And the reason why this subspecies, the northern white rhino, became so extinct was because in the 1970s and 80s, they were largely wiped out due to the poaching crisis, which was egged on by the demand for rhino horn in traditional Chinese medicine, and then also for dagger handles in Yemen.
Right.
And
so there was a big surge in poaching in the 70s and 80s, like you said.
Yeah.
And they actually started a bunch of new laws, international laws, to help stem like the poaching, but it didn't really affect the rhinoceroses as much, from what I read. It stopped a lot of elephant poaching, but then actually by the 2000s there was another increase in interest in Asian culture to go after ivory and rhinoceros horns. So like it got back to like the terrible levels of the 70s.
Yeah, there is still hope that they could try and repopulate what is left using IVF for rhinos, which is in its very early stages and it has never been done before.
I don't think so.
This is in part why they created a Tinder account for Sudan last year to try and drum up interest, obviously not for a rhino match, but to drum up interest for more research into IVF and more funding, and just to raise awareness that this was the last living male northern white rhino. I mean, and effectively it really did work, because this is part of why the story of Sudan has gone viral, is because so many people were familiar with him through the Tinder campaign that they ran looking for his mate. Although he was effectively 45 years old, which is 90 in human years, so they weren't really looking for him to mate. He'd sort of retired from that.
Right.
But there is research going into IVF to maybe see if they could repopulate, although the estimates right now, the procedure could cost as much as $10 million. Although, it's worth it, like I don't know, this whole story's a bummer, Amir.
It is, and I guess maybe it's nice that we as a society actually care now.
No, but it's too late.
It is, and because the way we've treated animals for our entire human history has been terrible.
Yeah.
But and only now we have reached a point where we were even considering zoos to be unethical.
Right.
To even have a zoo. We don't need that. We have media to cover all these animals. We can see them on 100 different shows. Why do we need to put them into boxes like that?
The hashtag that was trending about the death of Sudan was #WeDidThis.
Yeah, it's true, we did. We did this. We're causing a lot of global warming. We're behind a lot of this. And I think in our lifetime, we're gonna see a lot more species become extinct.
Yeah, when you look at the numbers, there was a chart that I don't have in front of me just in preparation for this story of the rhinoceros population with regards to subspecies and related species. I obviously don't know that much about the scientific terms for animals, but there you have it, and it's so dwindling. It's all just, you'll look at populations of rhinos and they'll be like, this is, it's not that bad, and they'll have 3,000. Remaining of the population. Yeah, it is really insane. What I like about, I guess, the hashtag #WeDidThis is that it's our problem, and this was a man-created issue. But if we fix it, then we can use that same hashtag. We did this.
And it's for the dumbest reasons too. It's because there's literally people who think that the horn has magical properties, and if you take that and you eat it, it's gonna fix some issues that people have.
When I was interning years ago, when I was interning in Los Angeles for a reality television show development company, there was one show that they had in development. I Hope my NDA has expired by now because I'm totally just going to tell you what the show is about. I don't know if it ever made it onto the air, but it was effectively about a guy and his group of people, and their jobs are to hunt poachers and protect rhinos. Not as murdery as it sounds. You would like hunt and then you would apprehend them. And it was, I remember watching the footage that he would send back, and I believe that he was in, I think he was in Chad. But I can't remember. And the footage would just be insane, and he just had this passion for preserving the rhino population, and you could just sense his desperation in everything that he was working on.
And it wasn't enough because, I mean, this species of rhinoceros is probably going to go extinct.
Yeah.
But like, when we think of poachers, like these are like highly sophisticated people. Like I don't know like what comes to mind, but like from the little bit of research that I did, they use like cutting edge military technology to hunt these animals because there's such a big market.
But we also have to examine the economy in the countries where there are poachers and look at, because no one like grows up like, oh, I just love poaching, doing this illegal thing to a protected, bordering extinct animal.
It's economic desperation that like leads these people to like go after this. This is gonna make me so much more money than whatever other like opportunity there is for me to feed my family.
And just think, and so there, like that's why it's such a broader, larger conversation and question about like that you just can't solve on Pop Trigger, where it's about, we're talking about the economic desperation of people that are then driven to engage in a criminal life, like engage in criminal activity and kill an endangered species.
Yeah.
I mean, therein lies our whole problem. If you could eliminate that desperation, then there wouldn't, poaching wouldn't be viewed as so lucrative, and it wouldn't be a way out, which is unfortunate that somehow people view it that way.
Yeah.
That it's gotten to that point.
Yeah, and on top of it, like I know in the news recently, there's been some new things coming from the Trump administration getting rid of some of these international laws of trophy hunting.
Yeah.
That like we made such a big deal about a few years ago about like Cecil the lion.
Yeah.
But like there's people that just they help this market continue. So I don't know what else there is to say about it, but it's kind of sad, and I don't see it really ending anytime soon.
Oh, come on, you gotta.
I don't like this.
I mean, I know you're right, but like we gotta end the clip on something
people don't
optimistic.
Care enough to stop it. Like we get really upset about it, and there's like a small subset, but like these are issues that the countries where these things are happening, like they need to take care of, and like China needs to take care of. And China's like one of the most powerful countries in the world right now, and they're also the biggest market for these type of things. So at what point, like, are they gonna take any responsibility for something like this?
Well, I will end us on a positive note.
Okay, let's do it.
The positive note is that they do plan to use some of the stored sperm from Sudan. You wouldn't think that sperm would be part of the positive note, right? But it is.
Make it seem like the country of Sudan has like a bunch of
from the rhino Sudan, and also several northern white rhino males and eggs from remaining younger females, and then they will implant the embryo into a surrogate southern white rhino and hope that then they'll hope that the pregnancy takes and that they will have a new northern white rhino.
One can only hope.
Yes. You are, I mean, I know it's a sad story.
Let me give you another silver lining. I feel like.
Okay, you've got 10 seconds.
I think zoos aren't as like hip and cool anymore, and that makes me happy.
That's true.
Because like growing up when we were kids, like it was a thing to go to the zoo.
But that's true. Now we all know that SeaWorld makes them sad.
Yeah, zoos are so messed up.
It's true. All right, that's gonna do it for this story. We wanna hear from you guys now. Stay with us because when we come back, we're gonna tell you all about Fred Durst. What happened to him?
Yeah.